Welcome to the Flex Forward podcast, where grit meets growth. With your host, Nic Espanet, bringing you stories of resilience, reinvention, and the real climb to success.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Flex Forward podcast. Today, we have the pleasure of being joined by Paul Mamakos. He leads several companies at Space Ocean Corp. I'll let him get more details on that. He works with innovation and business strategy, so we're very excited to visit with him today. So, Paul, if you can give everybody a snapshot of what you do and kind of what your business is, what you have going on, please jump in there.
Great. Yeah. Nice to meet you, Nick. I've watched some of the videos on the YouTube channel. You're doing good stuff. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're focused on oceans and space. That's where the name Space Ocean comes from. We have the Atlantic, the Pacific, the different oceans on Earth, but there's actually more water off the Earth than on the Earth. So some of the moons around Jupiter and Saturn, they have oceans on them underneath the ice. So we're focused on actually getting out there, collecting some of the fluid or the ocean water, and then selling that in space, but also taking the video imagery of those oceans throughout the solar system.
Oh, awesome. That's fascinating. So if I'm going to go off on a tangent here. So you capture it or sell it in space. Is it for the point when we start construction in space and things like that, or inhabiting Mars?
Yeah, correct. A lot of when the settlers came to the mainland here from overseas, they had to take everything with them. So when we go out to space, the distances are so far, we can't take all the water with us because the more you take, the more you need
It's a lot of weight, right? Yeah.
Right. So if we can get the resources out there in space, it's called in situ resource utilization. If we can get the water or the other stuff for life support from outside, then we can save a lot of the initial launch.
Fascinating, because a gallon of water is like 7-8 pounds or so. So the amount of water for several people to survive on has got to just be thousands pounds, which I assume translates into a lot more fuel you need and lift and all that stuff to get it out of the atmosphere. Well, that's fascinating. So how did you, this is a fascinating business model. How did you get into this line of work or area?
And I know people are, 20 years ago, I read the Kiyosaki books, Rich Dad Poor Dad and Capital Quadrant. In 2013, I came across a guy named Dan Pena. So I've been a business owner for a while, and after you've started a business and you've done it for a couple of years, for me at least, it was like, do I want to keep doing this business or do something else? Maybe there's something more interesting. So I had a business from 2007 through 2009. I exited and merged with another company, but it was a food manufacturing company for health food, natural products. And at that time, I decided there was something else I probably would have more fun doing. So when I was younger, I liked space and everything like that. And I went to college. I studied nuclear engineering a couple of years and went into aviation. So that was in 1994 to 98. So in 2005, I became a business owner. And in 2013, I came across Dan Pena. And he has a model for growth through acquisitions. So if there's a cash flow positive business out there and you can acquire it or even consolidate a bunch of them, then you can sell those as a more valuable entity. So
that's neat. I've read, I think Carl Allen, one of his books. I think it's a similar concept of buying businesses. And what we're hearing is, I see and hear is, as the baby boomers are aging out, their children don't want to inherit their businesses or take over. It's a great time to buy these successful businesses that have been run very well, but they may not be taking advantage of some of the modern technology and streamlining that's available for them. So that's an awesome story. And so I think, did I see too that you're a commercial pilot? Or you still flying? Correct. Or fly for fun or?
I fly for fun. It's I went through that training, commercial instrument, but I haven't flown in over a year. But I've done hundreds of hours of flying.
Awesome. So in the mergers and acquisition space, kind of what you're talking about a little bit, there's a lot of competition for people that are out there. So what's something that sets you apart, or maybe that you find easier that others find challenging? Maybe one or two things that you can think of.
Yeah, so I've flipped a couple houses, and the Kiyosaki model, or the thing where you buy houses and then you get equity from the bank to do more of that. That's a good model. For me, it wasn't inspiring, not something I really cared about, so I didn't go that avenue. I did flip a couple houses though. So
it's kind of interesting. You probably, I don't have a scientific number on this, but I would say 85% of the people I've interviewed on my podcast have brought up Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's a book that changed my thought process, my thinking. It's simple. Just have money work for you instead of working for money, and just whatever, if it's flipping houses, doing entrepreneurial, and just finding something to where you're doing it. And then the cash flow quadrant, that the second book you mentioned, just getting out of that employee and then getting over to investor eventually in that quadrant, to where again money's working for you, and that's when you start accelerating. So that's great, and I think going to be inspirational for other listeners. So if someone's listening right now and wants to get better at something, be it business or physical fitness, health, anything like that, is there anything you would suggest that they would do to get there? Any tips for them?
Yeah, so there's always a next level. So as long as you put in the effort, you will get to the next level. So as far as business, if you want to create any kind of business, for sure, go onto LinkedIn and reach out to people in your area that you're interested in or you want to move into, because people will accept those connections and you'll grow. As far as business, three things that Dan Pena at least talks about is a strong team. You have to have a hot idea. You have to have a great team and a great board. And if you have those three things, a team, an idea, and a board, you can do almost anything. So the way I've structured it at Space Ocean is people have joined the team. We're a team of 85 people, and they're getting shares in the company by working with us. So you could start out your company pre-revenue and just give people fractional ownership in the company, maybe over 10 years. And that's the way to do it with zero cash. Just you can do zero real estate kind of thing by doing owner financing. Do the same thing with that kind of business. Just give people ownership.
Well, and that's awesome. And you talked about board too. Some people are like, well, you got to be a big corporation before you have a board. You can get a group of 3 to 5 buddies or just somebody that can speak freely. I'm in part of a little mastermind there's 5 of us, and we have board meetings, and we empower, hey, speak to us. Let us know if you see any blind spots. It's having that board that can come out and, because you can get excited about a deal and you may be laser focused, but having a board and team and go, hey, what about these ideas over? You don't want somebody that's going to be raining down on the parade all the time, but somebody that sees your blind spots and helps you kind of maybe course correct a little bit is awesome. So I love that team idea, and board is awesome. So in your pursuit and the time you've been doing various activities, what's 1 or 2 of the biggest challenges you've had to overcome?
Just having a reason for doing what you're doing. If it's really close to you and you have something that's, for me, from childhood, I always cared about, it gives you that consistency and to keep going. Your
persistence kind of, that's awesome. So it sounds like things are going pretty well for you. And one thing is me, and we start getting a little further into our careers, and you think about ways for passive income. One of the things Robert Kiyosaki talks about to either enhance your current income or replace it. Do you have any thoughts on different passive income streams or things like that?
Yeah, for sure. Passive income. Yeah, I'm there's familiar with all that stuff.
Do you think that's something that's important? Because in diversifying, if you're focusing on something, is there different areas maybe start trying to invest in some areas that are sending you some mailbox money that some people are interested in?
Yeah, well, the richest man in Babylon or something like that.
Oh yeah, I need to reread that. That's probably been 15, 20 years ago that I read that.
For me too. You save 10% and then buy a little silver as well. Commodities are a good thing to buy. Maybe some crypto if you can do that. If you can figure that out.
For sure. Well, awesome.
Family too is very important. So
no, and carving time, and that's something I think going back to making money work for you. It's Robert Kiyosaki talks about is having that time for your family, you know, making sure, because time is the one. You said commodities, that's one that we can't replace. You know, once that minute or day ticks by, you can never bring it back. So, you know, making that time, if you have children or a spouse or even parents or friends, that you spend quality time with the ones that mean a lot for you. So that's a great point. So as we're wrapping up the interview, do you have any exciting plans or initiatives that you have in the works for the next 6 to 12 months, or maybe even, you know, something that we passed over is you're exploring for the water? Are you sending up your own rockets, or do they share on, like, with another, which went blank on his name,
Musk.
Musk, yeah. Are you getting them on his ships?
Yeah, we've talked with SpaceX a couple times, and we're talking business, and we're also with the JPL, NASA JPL. We're talking with them. Awesome. We would maybe launch in 2 years, but
that's awesome. I find this fascinating. I can't wait. I'm going to definitely keep my eye on what you're doing and learn more. So, thank you so much for your time today and sharing your insights and tips. If people wanted to get in touch with you or learn more about what you're doing, can you share the best way to do that?
Yeah, we have a website, spaceoceancorp.com, and we is on the other social media sites as well with that kind of branding.
Awesome. And we'll have links. These links will be in the comments or provided when we share the podcast. So, Paul, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the Flex Forward podcast. If you've got grit, growth, and a great story, visit flexforwardpodcast.com/guest to apply and join us on the show.